Coach, congratulations. How do you feel today?
I'm a bit tired, DP. I appreciate you having me on, but it's a good tired, that's for sure. So excited for our team and excited for Coug Nation.
When you watch the game film of Lamar Jackson, I don't know if you get to a point where you say, I got to turn this off because it's starting to make me nervous here. What did you see on tape, and how did you take advantage of that when you face somebody as great as him?
Oh, I did turn it off at that point and just say, you know what, nobody stopped him. We're not going to stop him. Again, we didn't stop him necessarily last night, but I think the plan going in, and credit to Todd Orlando and our defensive staff, was to say, we're going to put the pressure on him, and we're going to pressure him every single snap, and we're going to make it very uncomfortable for him in the pocket, and he may make a few guys miss and bust a big run, and that's okay, and we're going to live with that, and we're going to continue to pressure him because I just don't think a guy of that magnitude, and again, in my opinion, Lamar Jackson's still the best player in college football, still the Heisman Trophy front runner. There's no, no doubt about that in my mind. But I think if you sit back and cover everybody in the pass game, and then let the guy sit back, diagnose everything, and then say, okay, everybody's covered, and take off and run, then you're going to be in for a long night. And we wanted to force the action. We wanted to pressure him. We wanted to pressure his O-line, make him make quick decisions in the throw game, and then, if possible, hit home, and we did that.
He wasn't the best player on the field. He might be the Heisman Trophy winner, but he wasn't the best player on the field last night, Coach.
You may say that.
No. Ed Oliver was the best player on the field last night.
Well, Ed has shown up in big games for us. He's shown up in numerous games for us. But he has definitely. We've played the number 3 ranked team in the country twice this year. That's I don't know if credit is the right word, but thank you to Mac Rose, sarcastically, our previous athletic director, for scheduling those games. But Ed Oliver has shown up in a big way in those games, and he's shown up all season. He's a guy that is extremely explosive, extremely disruptive, and has a tremendous motor and plays, like his hair's on fire every single snap.
How did he get number 10, though, Coach? He's the nose tackle, and he got number 10.
A funny story about that. He got number 10 because he wore number 11 in high school, and he said, I want to wear number 11 at the University of Houston. And I said, great. That number's retired because that's Andre Ware's number. I said, you can call Andre Ware and ask him, and he did. And Andre, to his credit, said, you know what? Not selfishly, not because it's Andre Ware, but because of what that number represents, and all of Andre's teammates and the kind of era that Andre played in. He was a bit apprehensive, and Ed understood that and thanked him and said, okay, I'll wear number 10.
And it's been such a weird season because a couple of months ago I'm talking to you. Your name's in the headlines. You guys are undefeated. We're thinking maybe this game last night was going to be for something like playing for the national championship, putting in the Final Four. Then you lose to Navy and SMU. How do you explain this season?
Well, I explain it in that, when we're fresh and we're healthy, I think we can play with anybody in the country. This was the first time, believe it or not, Dan, this was the first time that every single person, every single player that played in the Oklahoma game was cleared medically to play in a game against Louisville. So we had gone 10 straight weeks without, basically all of our starters and our key backups cleared to play. So, and that's not an excuse. We need to our twos and our backups need to play better. But the month of October was a grind for us. We played 5 games in the month of September. We played 4 games in a 19-day stretch there in September, and it caught up to us in the month of October. And we finally got healthy. We didn't have our bye week until week 10, and we got healthy. We got fresh. And like I said, I think, when we're at peak physical condition, I think, we can play with anybody. We just hadn't been that way in a long time.
Talking to Tom Herman, Houston head coach, joining us, Dan Patrick Show, after the win last night over Louisville. I know your name was splattered all over college football with possible job openings there, and it since subsided a little bit. I don't know what that means about your coaching. Like, you're not the same coach as you were 2 months ago, or whatever it is. Maybe it's a good thing. It allowed you to sort of go back and just coach and not answer these kind of questions. But here we are, a 9-2 season, just beating Louisville. Is your wife allowed to bring up this topic at home?
Is my wife allowed to bring up the topic at home? No, she's not. Nobody's allowed to bring up the topic at home. I think, we are committed to giving 100% to the University of Houston. We owe that to the University of Houston, and we're not going to answer any questions about any other jobs. And, I would be doing these kids. I love our players so much, Dan, that it would be a complete disservice for me to give an ounce of thought to anything else but giving them 100% to winning a game each week.
And look, I appreciate that. But if I'm your wife, there's part of me that just says, just give me a heads up when we're allowed to talk about this. We staying here? We're going to sign an extent. What are we doing here? That has to be a part of just marriage there, of what the future is going to hold.
Thank God you're not my wife,
yeah.
DP. I mean, that's that would be an awful thing. No, I think it's part of the business, and we have moved, and it's part of the business that we love about the University of Houston. We've moved. I think there was a stretch in our career that we moved 6 times in 10 years, and Michelle and our family has been through a lot in this career, and I think that's one of the beauties of the University of Houston is having that stability and being able to say, you know what, this is our home. We've built a home here. We love the University of Houston, and we're not focused on anything else other than that.
Did you think Houston was going to get into the Big 12?
Man, you are a really good question asker, by the way. Did I think so? Yeah, I did. To be quite honest with you, I don't know. Again, I didn't concern myself at all with things that I can't control. But when you sit back and you've got a spare few seconds, you think about the opportunities for the Big 12. I mean, we're the best candidate for conference expansion in the entire country, regardless of if it's the Big 12. Mm-hmm. We've got a Tier 1 academic institution. We're in the 4th largest market in the country, and we're playing really good football right now, and we're making unbelievable upgrades to our facilities and to our programs. So I really thought that if the Big 12 did expand, that we were a no-brainer. But I feel that way about any conference expanding, to be quite honest with you, DP.
Yeah, I thought, and you don't have to answer it, but I thought if you got into the Big 12, more than likely, Houston could be your home for quite some time. And maybe it's going to be. But I thought going into the Big 12 puts you guys into a different category there, and you'd be viewed differently. The school would be, football team would be. But hey, congrats. We'll have a conversation maybe after the season, or maybe we don't have a conversation about your future after the season. But good luck against Memphis. Congrats on the big win last night as well, Coach.
All right, Dan. I appreciate you having me as always, man. Go Cougs.
All right, that's Tom Herman.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.